A leading Republican operative just destroyed Vice President and racist Care Bear JD Vance's secret plan to take over the presidency, and suffice it to say, MAGA is in some big trouble. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. In case you missed it over the weekend, and you can be forgiven for taking a break from the headlines, especially lately, in case you didn't see it, Vice President JD Vance made the rounds on the weekend political talk shows, spewing his usual mix of Trumper talking points and faux rage for anyone demanding he answer a real question. Like this question about Illinois Governor JD Pritzker.
Well, I think that Governor Pritzker has allowed a lot of people to be killed in the city of Chicago and elsewhere, George. I think that it's disgraceful, and I think that he absolutely should suffer some consequences for the fact that there are thousands of innocent Chicagoans who are dead because he failed to do his job.
It's really a yes or no question. Do you believe he's committed a crime?
George, you're going to keep on asking this question. I'm going to keep on telling you that Governor Pritzker has failed to do his job. He should suffer some consequences. Whether he's violated a crime, ultimately, I would leave to the courts, but I certainly think that he has violated his fundamental oath of office. That seems pretty criminal to me. I'd leave it to a judge and jury to decide whether he's actually violated the crime.
And if you thought that was ridiculous, wait until you see the Republican backlash. Stick around. Not content to not answer George Stephanopoulos' simple question about JD Pritzker, who, it should be noted, has not actually broken the law, which is, what a crime actually is. After obfuscating on that question, Stephanopoulos asked JD Vance about White House border czar Tom Homan, who was caught by the FBI accepting a $50,000 bribe in exchange for government contracts if Trump won the White House last fall. It's on tape, people. The only reason Homan hasn't been arrested and charged is that Emil Bove, Trump's former attorney who now works for the Justice Department, closed the probe. In other words, Homan was bailed out by his friend. When asked about that bribe, which is an actual crime, mind you, Vance got more than he expected.
George, I saw media reports that Tom Homan accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here's, George, why fewer and fewer people watch your program and why you're losing credibility. Because you're talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile, low-income women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government. You are focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next. We'll be right back.
Damn, that's still satisfying to watch, isn't it? I mean, am I the only one that applauds Stephanopoulos for being a good journalist and pushing back on Vance's non-answers? That's how this is supposed to work. May my other colleagues take note. And now one key Republican has taken note and called out JD Vance on his real master plan. Check this out. Former George W. Bush campaign official Rick Wilson, a lifelong Republican with a history of being critical of Donald Trump, took to his Substack this morning to call Vance on his plain ambition and his lack of media savvy. Wilson writes, quote, Vance watches, and probably smells, Trump rotting from the inside out, knowing the 3 Ds, Donnie, Dimension, and Depends, have him on an inside track for the presidency even before 2028. He sees the coming death not only of Trump, but of the MAGA movement's focus on Trump alone. Close quote. Wilson goes on to write, quote, Vance, if that's his real name, understands that the seeds he sows today are the predicates for his 2028 presidential run. Every single thing Vance does, right down to his morning constitutional, should be viewed as part of that plan. He'll have to take out the Trump children and other MAGA aspirants for the fecal throne, end quote. In the same column, Wilson mocks Vance's numerous name changes, his ties to fascist billionaire Peter Thiel, and just how obvious and heavy-handed Vance's strategy of don't answer questions, just own the libs actually is. Vance thinks he can become the heir apparent to Trump that way. Trump, who is in rapid decline, see our other videos for more on that mess. Vance wants to be president like a mosquito wants blood. And somehow I think a mosquito would be a better politician. Vance is widely disliked by the electorate, including the Republican Party, and he will have to compete with better politicians for the top of the ticket. No doubt, if one person hopes Trump kicks the bucket in office more than anyone else, it's JD Vance. And that is probably the only way he will ever become president. In the meantime, if you need him, Vance will be waiting. On the couch. They tell me that's his happy spot. Go figure. This is Occupy Democrats.